Recently, Embark has been making some changes to the winch spec. The winch was added to the finals of Season 3, and it came with a small stun effect to stop players from firing their weapon at the moment of being winched. But in Season 6, they added scaling to the stun duration based on the distance that it was used. So in the past, you could almost instantly return fire, but now, after being hit with the winch, you are unable to shoot for a minimum of 0.3 seconds and a max of 0.65 seconds. Here's where I have a problem with the winch. I always believed that the main purpose of winch was to help catch enemies because of Heavy's lack of movement, basically to bring enemies into a more favorable engagement distance. But in reality, the winch has become something akin to the former stun gun from the light class. Heavies are no longer using it only to bring enemies closer, but to stun enemies, even if they are within arm's reach. So even at point blank range, that 0.3 second stun is still applied. The Heavy can shoot half his mag, winch and stun the enemy, and proceed to fire his weapon all while the winched enemy is still stunned and unable to fight back, with the fastest option being melee. Now 0.3 seconds doesn't sound like a long time, but time to kill in the finals can feel almost instant at times, with most weapons killing in less than 2 seconds and in many cases less than 1. Those 0.3 of a second give the Heavy class a lot of time to put out damage uncontested, and allows for a lot of reversals that should not be possible. Let's take a look at some clips. In this first one, I catch a Heavy off guard, and land 3 clean bursts with the FAMAS, even landing some headshots. Let's keep in mind that the FAMAS is regarded as one of the best weapons on the medium class right now. I do about half his health, so that's about 175 damage. At this point, I get winched, taking 5 damage and then immediately getting headshot by the Shack 50. That's another 45 damage, and before I can even empty the 16 shots left in my mag, I'm dead. So after being winched, I was only able to deal additional 89 damage in the scramble, whilst the Heavy managed to deal 255, 80 of which was uncontested. Definitely nothing wrong with that. Let's move on to the second flip. I'm being chased by 2 enemies, and I land a max damage grenade, so I've done 139 damage to both the medium and the Heavy. The medium dies, I land plenty of shots on the Heavy, including some headshots, leaving the Heavy with less than 75 HP. Unfortunately, winch exists. I lose the fight, taking 188 damage before I can even deal 75 damage. I played this fight nearly perfectly and I still lost. But hold on. Let's go back to the first clip. The Heavy was using the Shack 50, I was using the FAMAS. The FAMAS has a TTK, time to kill, of 1.91 seconds. I can land all body shots with 100% accuracy. The Shack 50 has a TTK of 1.14 seconds. Going back to the FAMAS, you would have to have perfect accuracy and land all headshots to get a TTK of 1.2 seconds. That is still slower than the TTK of the Shack 50 with only body shots. The Heavy class does not need the crutch that winch provides. Still not convinced? Let's go to the second clip, where the Heavy was using the SA-12 and I was using the AKM. The SA has a TTK of less than a second with 0.95 seconds, landing only body shots. The AKM has a TTK of 1.7 seconds on Heavy, landing only body shots. Even if you somehow manage to land all headshots, you would still have a TTK of 1.1 seconds. That is still slower than the TTK of the SA-12. So during the fight, I used my loadout to full effect, using DMAT, landing headshots, and tossing a max damage grenade, and I still lost. Why? The winch. The P90 with a TTK of 1.6 seconds and the FCAR with a TTK of 1.67 seconds are the best chances you have as a medium to win these fights. But you would need to land every shot, and some of them would need to be headshots, while most of the weapons on Heavy can kill in less than 1.5 seconds with only body shots. Now yes, many weapons on Heavy excel in close range fights, but that does not mean the Heavy class needs a spec that increases their weapon's effectiveness to this extent. You can say that you need to stay out of range of winch, but that isn't always possible, and with audio almost being non-existent in this game, enemies can sneak up on you with little to no warning. So let's get this straight. The Heavy class, with both the health and damage advantage, is able to put other classes that already have a relative health and damage disadvantage even further into disadvantage by preventing them from not only returning fire and using specializations, but from using gadgets such as grenade or goo, even going as far as to cancel gadget animations entirely. Not to mention it also does 5 damage when it winches a player, stopping health regen, and it has many other use cases outside of combat. While the stun effect probably doesn't need to be removed entirely, I feel like the stun duration needs to be significantly reduced. The stun duration should be somewhere between how it used to be and how it is now. Maybe make it last for half the time it currently does? 0.15 seconds point blank and 0.3 seconds for max range grabs? I feel like this would reduce its effectiveness and stop players from abusing the stun mechanic at close range while still rewarding longer range winches. Thanks for watching, guys. This is my first time making a video like this. It took me a lot of time and effort to make, so I'd appreciate it if you guys could leave a like and comment down below. Do you think the winch needs a nerf? Maybe I'm just bad at the game? Let me know. See you next time.